Hello, my kids. So, I want to talk about something. And basically, I want to talk about people that you have to walk on eggshells with them. You know how you have some people you can't say anything right? And sometimes folks like that tend to be like on the negative side. Uh, this is just an example. And when I saw this example today, when I looked at somebody's video, it reminds me of a lot of stuff that I've had to deal with when it comes to people. And that's why I'm kind of talking about this, right? So I'm going to talk about this lady again, Clarissa Shields. Her name keeps coming up. I don't really care about what she's doing, but this is an example that I want to use right now. So there's a boxer named Michaela Mayer. She has a fight that's coming up. Her and Chantel Cameron. They are with Most Valuable Promotions, and they have a fight coming up on Saturday, August the 29th, 2026, right? It's going to be in Birmingham, UK. All right, but it's going to be filming on ESPN if anybody's interested. So anyway, Michaela Mayer is an Olympian. She knows Clarissa Shields. She's been friends with Clarissa Shields for a long time. But Michaela Mayer is now with MVP, Most Valuable Promotions. Okay, a lot of ladies are with that promotional organization. And recently, in the last few months, Clarissa Shields has been banned from MVP events because she slapped Alicia Baumgartner. Okay, now I don't know what happened, but Clarissa has just been getting in it with all of the ladies at MVP. Most Valuable Promotions. And I believe it's because she really only had beef with Alicia Baumgartner. Okay. But what happened is people started turning on Clarissa Shields. And because Clarissa Shields wants to be the villain, right? And she got what she wanted, and now people are treating her like she's a villain. They started comparing her to people like Amanda Serrano and all of this stuff. And now Clarissa just seems to have a problem with all of the women. Okay. But anyway, so I'm going to get to the point here. I'm just wanted to just talk about a little bit about who these people are. So Michaela Mayer, she had an interview. Well, it wasn't really an interview. Somebody asked her a question while she was training for the fight, her upcoming fight. I think Clarissa Shields' name came into the conversation. And the only thing Michaela Mayer said is that she pretty much praised Clarissa Shields' fighting. She said she has a speed and aggression, which is really good, especially in the higher weight classes. That's the main thing that Michaela Mayer said, right? Clarissa Shields has a lot of speed and aggression, and it's really good for her, especially, not only, but especially in the higher weight classes. Somehow Clarissa Shields got pissed. I don't know if she got pissed, but she got offended at that comment. And she came back and said something on Twitter about, basically saying her speed and aggression helps her in any weight class. It's not just in the higher weight classes, it's in all weight classes. But the way she made it seem like she hopped on Michaela Mayer, like Michaela Mayer was downplaying her skills, saying that her skills only work in higher weight classes. And so Michaela Mayer came back and said, no need for the negativity. I was literally giving you a compliment, right? And Clarissa Shields comes back and said, I know an insult when I hear it. You didn't give me a compliment. I know an insult when I hear it. And she started going on and on and on. The point I'm making is that I have bad experience with people like that. I know they both got here before I did. Sorry, I'm just waiting for these cars to go. I have a bad experience. I really have PTSD. When it comes to those kind of personalities, I actually have PTSD. because it's like they make you, people like that would make you stutter. You wouldn't know you wouldn't know what to say that's right or wrong with them. Okay, this reminds me of my sister. Literally, just about anything I say, she seems to twist it and she has it wrong. And I would talk about how, it seems like my sister never returned my phone calls. And then when I finally just give up on trying to call her and chase her around, then she comes back like, yeah, I haven't heard from you in a while. I hate it when people play those games. When people play those games, I cut them off. I will cut them off for good. And I will hope I never need anything where I have to call them, because these kind of people play games. You didn't know that I called you about 50, 11 times, and when I finally give up on trying to chase you around, you talk about why haven't I heard from you in a while? I don't like it when people. I don't like people. Let me just say, I don't like people. I don't like people like that, but it's a whole lot of people that do that type of stuff, though. It's a whole lot of people, and the problem is I'm gonna tell you why you have to get away from those kind of people. Because if you get used to that kind of behavior and you start thinking that's how people really are, then you're going to start acting like that too, right? You're going to start acting crazy like that, right? Not really just playing games, right? Just playing those type of games, because if you constantly surround yourself around people like that, you're going to really feel like that's how the world is, and then you're going to adapt to that type of behavior. So it's really best to get away from folks like that, so you don't think you have to adapt to that kind of behavior, because what's going to happen is once you adapt to that behavior, you're going to treat somebody else the wrong way. You're going to do that to the wrong person. And it can cost you. You can burn the bridge. They might not want to deal with you anymore. Okay? So people like that, it's best not to deal with them. But yeah, like, I remember having a conversation with my sister. This was years ago, like, 2020, 2021, something like that. Something like 2020, 2021. It was during the pandemic, okay? And I remember sitting in the car, and I just remember talking about how I just learned that this was a holographic world. I call it a virtual world. At this point, I call it a virtual reality, because I know we're inside of a computer. But back then it was just called a holographic world, right? And I say, I know that we're in a holographic world. I know something is off about this. And I remember talking to my sister, and I don't know what I said, but I kept talking about this is a holographic world. Now, after that conversation, I remember calling her, and I didn't hear from her. I remember calling her, I didn't hear from her. I used to tell my biological mother, not the mother who raised me, but my biological mother, about how I kept trying to call her. She don't answer my calls and stuff like that. And I think finally a year passed by or so, and she sent me some kind of text talking about, well, yeah, the reason why I haven't talked to you in a while, because I felt like you were putting down the Bible. And I was like, our last conversation, I remember specifically, and what I have a problem with my sister is that she can't tell me what I said. What exactly did I say to put down the Bible? So if you cannot tell me exactly what I said, then you're a liar. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I stopped talking to you, I remember exactly what you did to make me stop talking to you. Now, if 20 or 30 years done passed by, I just got to the point where I ain't even thinking about you no more. And if I forget what you did, it's because I finally got to the point where I'm not thinking about you anymore. And so that situation is just going out the window if that much time passed by. But something like a few months or just a month or 2 months, I know exactly what you did to make me stop talking to you. I can tell you word for word what you did to make me stop talking to you. Okay? So she couldn't tell me exactly what I said about the Bible at the time. I was like, what did I say? Because I don't remember putting down the Bible. So what did I say? You can't tell me. And also, I don't know if she reads the Bible now, but back then she never read the Bible. How you get offended at me talking about the Bible, but you never read the Bible? That's offensive that you call yourself a Christian and you never read the Bible. That part is offensive. Because you're trying to call yourself leading people to Christ, but you don't know what's in the Bible. You're offensive, okay? That's offensive. You're not going to find a devoted Muslim who don't know something about the Quran. You're not going to find that. People who are like, if they are voodoo practitioners, hoodoo practitioners, Santeria, Ifo, whatever they are in, you're going to find where they have some kind of expertise in their craft. Well, no matter what they're doing. But when it comes to a lot of these Christians, they call themselves Christians, but never read the book of Genesis, never read 2 scriptures, don't read nothing, don't know nothing, and they call themselves a Christian, and they call themselves talking about leading people to Christ, but they have never read the Bible. But anyway, that's her business if she never read the Bible. That's on her. My point is, what did I say about the Bible to make you upset? Because I don't remember saying anything about it. Okay? If I did say something about the Bible, maybe I was trying to tie in how the Bible relates to the holographic world, because I realized this is a simulation. I realized that we are in a simulation. So I am trying to apply to see, well, I'm not doing it anymore because I understand now. But back then, I was trying to see how the Bible is related to the simulation. Because if this is a simulation, nobody came inside of the simulation. Well, I'm not going to get into all of that. But this is a simulation. Okay? And I wanted to see at that time how the Bible related to it. I understand all of it now. Well, not all of it, but most of it. I get the idea. So if I say anything about the Bible, I probably just said that. Because I don't even remember what I said about the Bible, but I do remember talking to her, saying that this was a holographic world, this is a simulation. I do remember talking to her about that, and somehow that turned her off, and she ain't talking to me anymore. Okay? And what I'm saying is, this is not the first time, and this is kind of, you know what, I don't want to get her name away, but this is what I'm talking about. People who take what you say and they take it the wrong way, and they twist your words and turn it against you, and they treat you in a negative way because they took what you said the wrong way, and they feel like it's your fault the way they took it. Now, I can take things the wrong way, and the people correct and say, no, this is the way I meant it. Well, that's fine. I get out my feelings or whatever. But sometimes when you even try to tell people you did not mean it that way, like Michaela Mayer tried to explain to Clarissa Shields that she did not mean any harm or any kind of disrespect in what she was saying, it's almost like they don't want to hear it. They just want to keep on with their disrespect towards you, right? This is not the first time my sister has done this. My sister has done this before. It's like you have to keep walking on eggshells for people like that. You cannot say anything right to them. Wherever you get to a point where you can never say anything, I don't see people like that are very critical of others, even when you do everything right. And what if you just do everything right and you get one thing wrong? What if you get 97% of the time you do everything perfect, and 3% of the time you mess up? They get mad at that, and they will hold that over your head for like ever, until the day you die or the day they die. But you know what else about people like that? They will tolerate folks who abuse them. People like that will tolerate somebody else who abuses them. I stay away from people like that because they don't like positive people. People like that don't like positive people. They don't. Clarissa Shields did that with Layla Ali too. Layla Ali, I'm going to tell you this whole thing with this Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. I hate to say Clarissa Shields versus Layla Ali or and Layla Ali. Layla Ali, they ain't doing nothing to her. Clarissa Shields is keeping that mess going. Layla Ali ain't fighting her back. She wants to keep talking, right? But, so Clarissa should basically just disrespecting Layla Ali. Layla Ali is not fighting her back. But, this is what happened. Once again, taking stuff the wrong way. And when you try to clear things up and explain, she don't want to get it. I'm telling you, I know people like this. I stays away from them. Yes, I put the S on stays. I stays away from them. Because you're like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. First of all, even if they do finally let it go, it's almost like you got to watch what you say around them, but they don't have to watch what they say around you. I just completely stay away from people like that, because I definitely know people like that. They take no accountability for what they have done to other people. But the minute you say something that you don't even mean any harm, you're not trying to offend them, but they take it the wrong way, you have to go all bent over backwards and apologize, and they still won't forgive you. They will still beat you down, but they will tolerate somebody else who's going to beat them down. It's almost like they appreciate people who treat them bad, but somebody who tries to treat them with some kind of dignity, they don't like it. I'm not going to really blame them for it. Everybody have their life journey. I had my life journey, right? Because I say had because I know I'm out of here. Like it's just time for me to exit stage left when it comes to this particular world right here. It's time for me to exit stage left, right? So everybody have their life journey, okay? And so I'm not going to really criticize the way she is, but that doesn't work for me because I never can. My auntie was like that. My auntie was like that. And it's almost like you have to. What I mean is, I don't mean it that way. Like you don't know what to freaking say. You don't know what to say. I would ask my auntie a question. I said, I can say something simple. Hey, what's the name of that place over there on the left? I don't know. Why? Why? You thinking about going over there? What's going on? Like, God dang, I just asked a question. Shit. Woo! It's one of those things like, God dang, I have to think. It's almost like I have to really figure out how I'm going to say this so you can stop being so doggone suspicious. I sound like I got PTSD. I do. I have PTSD from people like that. I'm not going to judge them for how they are because everybody's going to have their own journey. But that stuff right there does not work for me. It does not work for me. You know, my sister did that when she came to visit me. I was in Atlanta with my family. And I spent a lot of time in Atlanta, even though I was working in Tuskegee, Alabama, at the VA. And so I still lived in Tuskegee, Alabama. I would still go up like on the weekends or whenever I could to go visit my family in Atlanta. What was it? No. I take that back. I am so wrong about that. I am so wrong about that. No, I was living in, I want to say, probably LA or Cleveland. It's one of those, either Los Angeles or Cleveland, Ohio. And I would go once or twice a year and just visit my family in Georgia. But I would see my sister a lot. She stays in Montgomery. She lives in Montgomery, Alabama. And my family had moved to Georgia, so I would go visit them a lot too. And so my sister decided to drive to Atlanta to Georgia to see me because I always see she even recognized that I'm always putting forth the effort. So she decided to come to Atlanta to see me because I'm always the one to come to see her. All right. But something happened, right? She got there, seemed like we got along, you know, all that stuff right there. I think she bought her kids and stuff. Everybody, we all got along, right? And she left and she said, call me when you get back. Oh, I remember that. I was living in California at the time. I lived in Inglewood, California. I remember that. And she said, so when I got back, I told her I was going to be on my way to go back home. I think I was flying back to Los Angeles. And she said, call me when you get back. Call me, let me know, call me or whatever, stuff like that. And that's fine. Anybody say, call me. I called her back. I sent her text messages. I sent her Facebook messages, all that stuff. For the longest time, she did not get back to me. For the longest time, she did not get back to me at all. I would say this went on for about a good 2 months or so that I kept trying to reach out to her and she never got back to me. Okay. My auntie tried to tell me time and time again she's just not interested. She want to come and make these excuses for why she's not talking to you, but she's just not interested, and she just don't want to say that she's not interested, and so she want to come up with these excuses why I'm doing something wrong. But the point is she's just not interested. It's just that simple. but she's going to keep finding things that I did wrong, right? And so she did it again. She talked about, well, when I came to see you in Atlanta, I felt like you thought that you were better than me. I never acted like I was better than anybody. See, that's what I'm saying. I have to change do I need to change my eyebrows? Do I need to change my complexion? I need to change the way I walk, the way I talk. Anybody like that I have to completely just be so self-conscious of anything, how I look, what I say, whatever, I got to stay away from them. I said, when have I ever acted like I was better than you? First of all, I always come to see you. This is your first time coming to see me. So somebody who's always coming to see you, who calls you more than you call me, how am I acting like I'm better? I'm the one that's really trying in this relationship. Okay? See, people like that, they don't really want, this is why I don't really mess with people. Because I realize probably majority of the world is going to be like her. The majority of this world is going to be like her. And so I get to the point where I just don't really deal with people unless I just have to be around them. But as far as my personal time, I even go to the movies by myself. I go out to eat by myself. I go on vacation by myself. I just don't really like dealing with people like that, because people, I don't really care for people in that manner. They're not going to be to me what I am to them. And so I don't like to deal with people. And that's when me and my sister finally talked, because I went off on her about the fact that I kept trying to call and contact her. She ain't calling me back. And I went off on her because I'm like, why do you tell somebody to call you or whatever, and then you don't ever want to answer the phone? Why are you acting like that? And then she turned it around again and acted like I was trying to act like I was better than her, and like my family was better than her family, and whatever. She's making excuses. I don't want to get into all that, making excuses. And so what I'm saying is that I just careful, and it could have been like any little thing. What it is her own personal feelings. It's how she felt about herself at that time. And the way she felt about herself at that time, she projected those feelings onto me. Okay? See, I don't want to deal with folks like that, because you are not responsible about how somebody else feels about themselves. You're not responsible for that. Okay? But anyway, I just feel like talking about that, how the example with how Clarissa responded to Michaela Mayer. That has happened so many times, and when it comes to people like that, I don't even like to talk to them. I don't like to talk to them because, first of all, Michaela Mayer don't need to say anything else to Clarissa Shields. I haven't even responded to my sister. I have never called my sister in the last, I would say, close to a year. I have not called my sister. I will not call her. She can call me. I absolutely will not call her, because I get tired of that type of behavior. I get tired of somebody who feel like I need to chase them. But then they consistently always find something that I'm doing wrong. They never see anything with them. They consistently find something that I'm doing wrong. And it reminds me of this stuff with Michaela Mayer and Clarissa Shields. Michaela Mayer don't need to say anything else to Clarissa Shields. She is so negative, right? The way she took what Michaela Mayer said, when Michaela Mayer was really singing Clarissa's praises. Michaela Mayer was singing Clarissa's praises, if to be honest. Clarissa didn't see it like that. And I'll tell you, when you try to be overly apologetic and say, look, I was giving you a compliment, and you try to be positive to a person like that and be apologetic, they don't appreciate it. They would dog you out. People like that, really, look at who Clarissa is dealing with. She's dealing with Papoose. I mean, how well is she? I don't care how well he's treating her, but the point is, he is still in a relationship where he's married. They both are talking about having a child together, but you don't know when a divorce is actually going to happen. And look at what happened to her boxing. So I'm just looking at that right there. I'm observing what happened with her, as far as looking at her as a boxer before, and looking at what's happening to her right now. You can tell that she don't really appreciate positive people in her life. And granted, she might have grown up a certain way, but I'm tired of hearing that. Clarissa Shields is a 2-time Olympian. I'm tired of hearing how she grew up, because Clarissa Shields is in a position to get help. If she felt like she needed it, if she felt like she needed help, she's in a position, she's in a better position to get the help that she needs. She's in a better position to have all the resources that she needs. She's in a better position to get anybody to reach out to her because she's a celebrity. She's in a better position than I am. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't care that she came from Flint. I don't care. Because I'm tired of that story. There's nothing wrong if you have your story, but she's a two-time Olympian. She's traveled the world. She's traveled the world. She's had more experience than a lot of people in their 80s. Like, you got to understand this. This woman is she's well-traveled. She's a celebrity. She has a different life than somebody else who's on the same job for 20 years at the same job and going home and just clocking in and clocking out. She has a more expansive life. I have no excuses for her. Because she's been around too long. When you travel the world, come on, your mind is supposed to expand. She's been traveling the world since she was a kid. Because she's an Olympian. So she's been traveling the world since she was a kid. So I don't have no excuse for her growing up in Flint. I don't have those excuses. I would have an excuse for somebody from Flint if they grew up in Flint and they still in Flint. But not somebody who's a two-time Olympian that's been traveling the world since they were a doggone preteen. Like, you, come on now. Everybody have their own life. But when you are well-traveled and you have different experiences in life, you're in different doors are open to her. She's in different circles. She's in different rooms. I'm not making up them Flint excuses for somebody who's had opportunities, way more opportunities than I have. I'm not making up no excuses for a person like that. She's like that because she appreciates people who abuse her. And she would dog out people who are good to her. She took what Layla Ali said the wrong way. Layla Ali was on the Breakfast Club. And Layla Ali talked about, they asked her the question, would you come back to boxing? They always like to ask retired boxers these questions. Layla Ali, how long? This was in like the 2020s or the 2010s. Either way, I think Layla Ali was retired before 2010. So to ask her 10 years later if she's coming back to boxing, well, okay. But anyway, she said that there's nobody that she really sees that she want to box. That's what she said. She said no, but she doesn't see anybody worth her coming back for that she wants to box. And that's not the exact words, but that's basically what she said. And then it's almost like, then she said, oh yeah, but do you know Clarissa Shields? That's what she said. Do you know Clarissa Shields? Clarissa, once again, taking things the wrong way, right? Because Layla Ali put all of this in her video, okay? I think it's called Set the Record Straight, something like that, on Layla Ali's channel. It's called Set the Record Straight, something like that, and it's a two-part series. And Clarissa Shields, she was in her car, and she was recording herself, and she was like, Layla Ali said that she don't see anybody worth fighting. And she's talking about, and she felt like it was a dig at her because Layla Ali's weight class would be her weight class. Her weight class at the time was like 168. So she felt like Layla Ali was taking a dig to her because Layla Ali, if she was to come back to fighting, it would be the 160s. Layla Ali is like 5'10", so it would be the 160s. Layla Ali was in the 160s when she was fighting. Okay, so she took that as a dig to her because when Layla Ali said she doesn't see anybody she want to fight, she felt like that was a dig at Clarissa's skills. But I was listening to it, and Layla Ali, I could tell she wasn't even thinking about Clarissa Shields when she said that. Because when she said that, she said, there's nobody that I see that I want to come back to fight. And then I think a few seconds later, she said, oh, but do you know Clarissa Shields? Do you know? So that means Clarissa Shields didn't even cross her mind when she said that. And if she remembered Clarissa Shields. But Clarissa is insistent on taking things the wrong way. She insists on taking things the wrong way. She insists. See, that's a person who thinks everything is about them. Clarissa is very vain. That's how she is. That's how she is. But she's vain. She thinks everything has to be about her. Layla Ali, I could tell when she did that interview at the Breakfast Club, I could tell that Clarissa did not even cross her mind when she said that. Because the way she brought up Clarissa Shields towards the end of the conversation lets me know that she wasn't even thinking about Clarissa Shields. But Clarissa thinks it's a dig to her. And then when you try to clean it up, well, basically, she went on a whole smear campaign dogging out Layla Ali without even letting Layla Ali know that she was offended. She just went on a whole smear campaign, right? So that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like you got to walk on eggshells when it comes to certain people. It's like you can't say anything right to them. There's no, you really cannot say anything to them without them getting offended. And when you try to clean it up and let them know that's not how you meant it, they're going to feel like they're right. And this is how you meant it because that's how they took it. So they're going to say that's how you meant it. And there's nothing else you can do about it. There's nothing else you can say. There's nothing you can do but leave folks like that alone. Okay, you will be walking on eggshells. But at the same time, they can say whatever they want to say to you. They're not going to walk on eggshells with you. Okay, but so they're going to say whatever they want to say to you, but you have to walk on eggshells with them. And but when you let them, when you tell them that they have done something to offend you, they're going to tell you to get over it. Right? While you're still having to walk on eggshells to not offend them, they don't care how they treat you. Okay? But anyway, that's it, and I will talk later.